All right, so I'm Nancy from Nancy Inspired. For those of you that are new here, I have a gift that I call soul telepathy. I'm able to hear what your soul is trying to tell you for your own highest and best good, your own evolution. When I do individual readings, it's just about you. When it's in this kind of setting, it's what is the collective messaging for the whole group. And the first half of the live is the collective messaging, and I record that. And the second half of the live is individual questions. Don't put your names in yet for individual questions because it'll get lost in the chat. I will let you know when I'm ready for that. If you were here, I know I didn't do it last week, but if you were here the week before and I didn't get to you, Joanne, Deborah, Jenny, and Carla, I think. If you are here, I bumped them up to the top of the list. All right, so without further ado, I will get started. So I always ask permission first. So can I, may, and shall I do a collective reading for my Insight Timer friends and family, both those that are listening now and those that tune in later? And I'm getting a clear yes. Is there any reason why I shouldn't at this moment in time? Nope, no reason that I shouldn't. So then we're just going to clear the space. So we're going to just take a moment. If it's safe to do so, you're welcome to close your eyes and be part of this clearing. We're just going to cleanse, clear, and balance our hearts, minds, bodies, and spirits on all levels for our highest and best good. I am clearing a container, a space for us to be connected so that we can hear the best messaging for everybody that's involved, and allow us to clear out anything that doesn't serve the group. So anything that doesn't serve us is just being pulled out. I kind of imagine a blue-white light that's swirling around counterclockwise, and it just is pulling out anything that doesn't serve as we can create this container, this space. Cleansing, clearing, and balancing everybody's heart, mind, body, and spirit, as well as this space we're creating together. All right, then I ask that everyone's intuition be raised to the highest level that they can accommodate with at this moment in time, so that your souls speak freely and clearly for everyone's highest and best good. I've already done a little clearing for myself, asking that I can hear, and my intuition is raised to the highest level I can accommodate with at this moment in time, so I can hear clearly what's going on. And I also add at this point a little bit of an armor of protection so that anything that doesn't belong in this space gets sent away to the feet of God, where it can be transmuted into love. All right, here we go. I'm so glad to be here. Like I said, I wasn't going to be. I was off on a little holiday, and I ended up being back early enough that I could make this happen. So I'm really happy. All right, let me hear what I hear first today. All right. It's interesting because this is, I'm not surprised this came up, because this seemed to be part of a conversation that was while we were hiking, some of the things we were talking about. So this is a kind of a two-part message that I'm hearing. And the first part is being in the presence of now. So it is so important, and we hear this in so many different practices, being in the presence of right now, in this moment in time, rather than, worrying about the future or having resentments or concerns about the past that we can't change, regrets, but focusing on right now, because right now has that infinite potential. What happens right now? We have an infinite number of choices that we can make at any given moment, and being in the present moment and being in this present space allows us to be not only open to those infinite possibilities, but allows us to be showing up to those infinite possibilities. And so trying to focus on what is happening right now. The other thing that I'm hearing is that when you are focusing on the right now, present moment, we are more inclined towards hope and gratitude, because right now, in this moment, especially in this moment, we are here together in this space. I don't know where you physically are and what you're doing while you're listening, but you have the capacity and the moment at this moment to be in this space. A while back, I was on TikTok, and I ended up deleting all my social media stuff because I was just getting drawn in. But there was a fellow on there, I can't remember his name now, but he would pop in and he would just be like, right now, at this moment, think about things that you're grateful for. And for 1 minute, we get to be here together in this space. And I used to just think it was so powerful because no matter what was going on in my life, even if things were chaotic around me, I could take that one moment and be in that space that one moment. So that's what I'm hearing is over the next little while, practice being really present in the present moment. What's happening right now? Not thinking about what's happening in the future, worries and concerns and whatnot, not worried about, regrets of the past, but what's happening right now and being aware of the infinite possibility, the infinite hope, and the infinite gratitude that's available in any given moment. No matter what's going on around you, there's possibility in the present moment. I'm also hearing there's a freedom in the present moment. So I'm hearing that, let me just understand this because I just heard there's also freedom in the present moment by being, okay. So by being in the present moment, we are free to be open to possibilities as opposed to burdened by worries, concerns, regrets, and all the extra things. So there's a certain freedom and liberation by being in the present moment. So what I'm hearing is that if you feel bound, if you feel trapped, if you feel stuck, if you feel anchored, if you feel bound in a certain way by whatever it is, maybe it's physical limitations, maybe it's financial limitations, maybe it's relationship limitations, maybe like whatever it is making you feel stuck and bound, what I'm hearing is by focusing on the present moment, the right now, this moment in time, with its infinite possibilities, will allow you to recognize the freedom you actually have. Because when we're in these situations, and I'm in this with you, there's lots of times I start to get consumed by, well, what if, or this or that, or this is happening, that, and I start, kind of spinning my wheels and thinking, what do I need to do about this, or maybe there's a negative situation happening or a challenge of some kind. It's easy to get caught up in that. If you can take a moment, even if it's a moment, to just focus on the exact present moment that is full of infinite possibilities, there is a freedom in that. And just like, okay, I understand. So there's a little thing that I practice. This has become a regular part of my practice. I heard it in one of the readings I gave to somebody, and then it became a regular part of my practice. So to tell you a story. Quite a while back, I started out by doing tea leaf readings. I still do tea leaf readings occasionally, but I used to do them regularly. And I was doing a tea leaf reading for someone, and this was a person that was really struggling with depression. And what came out, I wish I could just quickly pop it up for you, but what came out was this picture of a woman kind of, dancing almost, and there was a flower and a butterfly and a dog all in this picture. And the idea was that we need to practice recognizing joyful moments, because when we practice recognizing joyful moments, we start to look for joyful moments. We start to hear joyful moments. And the wisdom that I heard, and this is what I've kind of hold on to now, is that it's like learning a language. When you're first learning a language, for the first time you're learning a language, you usually get the nouns. You find out, how do I say bathroom, or how do I, this is a chair, this is a door. You get all the nouns. Then you start getting some of the action words. How do we connect the nouns or describe the nouns, and we get a little bit more details, and we practice those. Then we start to learn how to, conjugate and create sentences, and we start to hear and understand. Eventually, as you learn a language, I can't say I've ever got to this level yet, learning a language, but you start to think in that language, right? And you can, for people I've talked to that speak multiple languages, they can kind of choose which language fits the context of what they're thinking about most. And so they're able to think in that language. Practicing joy, and in the context of this reading, practicing freedom from being unstuck, from feeling anchored, from feeling rigid, from feeling trapped, is like practicing a language. So just like with this tea leaf reading, the message was that if you allow yourself to internalize experiences of joy and go, okay, this is a joyful moment right now. This is what it feels like. This is what it sounds like. This is what it smells like. This is what it tastes like. This is what it, and you practice it, you will recognize the next moment of joy and the next moment of joy. And then you start hearing the moments of joy. And how it relates to learning a language is when you're first immersed in a language that you don't know. I know when I've traveled to places that they're speaking a language I don't know, there's a lot of tune out that happens. I can't hear them, so it sounds like wah, 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 wah to me because I don't understand what's going on. Eventually, as you start learning a little bit, you catch little bits. Oh, I know that word. They're talking about dogs. Or I know that word. They're talking about, and you start hearing little bits and more, and then you start expanding and expanding and expanding till it leads to understanding. Joy is the same way. You capture a little bit of a joyful moment and go, this is what joy feels like. Oh, wait, here's what joy feels like. Here's what joy feels like. Then it turns into, oh, look at all these things. This is what joy feels like. Translating that back to our message today is talking about freedom and feeling stuck. A lot of us, and I'm in this too, will have moments where we feel stuck. We feel like we're not moving forward, or we're stuck in a relationship, or we're stuck in a job we don't like, or we're stuck in whatever way we're stuck. What I'm hearing is that we need to practice freedom, and that the way to practice freedom is to root ourselves in this moment in time, because this moment in time has an infinite amount of possibilities. There's infinite possibilities in this moment in time. And so if we can practice capturing a moment of this feeling of freedom, then we start to internalize these moments of freedom. We start to express these moments of freedom. We start finding more and more moments of freedom. Next thing you know, we're not feeling stuck anymore. That's what I'm hearing as a big message for us today. I'm just going to sneeze, I think. Excuse me. Good message. I'm just internalizing a little bit of that right now. Practicing feeling unstuck. Thank you, Jamie. Practicing feeling unstuck. It's like a language. I know in my course, the Joy Blueprint. Oh, hey, I can do this. Do I have it here? I do. Look, I can do that. Postcard. I don't know. Did you see that? Okay. In my course, the Joy Blueprint, I call it snapshot moments, and that's what I learned from that tea leaf reading that time, and I turned it into a practice where now I have snapshot moments. And it's funny because my granddaughter was having a really bad day. One day she was just really sad and emotional and whatnot, and I said, well, why don't you pull up a snapshot moment? What's your snapshot moment? Because I've taught her that practice. And she right away remembered a time when her and I were floating down the river on a floaty, and a snake actually came and was swimming in front of it. It swam across the river, and both of us were like, I didn't know snakes swam. And it was this kind of cool moment as we watched this snake cross the river. And as soon as she pulled that up, she's like, I feel better now, Nana. And I was like, good, that's what those snapshot moments are for. And yeah, in my course, I talk about snapshot moments. But I'm hearing today that when you're feeling stuck, practicing that feeling of freedom and that infinite possibilities. Jenny, sneezing. Yes, sneezing is a great way to get oneself back to the present moment. I'm going to remember that. Maybe that's why I sneezed right at that moment, was as a little reminder that, yeah, sneezing does get us back to the present moment. All right, now I can feel, as I'm ready to launch into the next bit of messaging, that there is a flip side to this, that there is the essence is infinite possibility at this moment in time. However, what I'm hearing is that humans, often when I get readings, I hear like, you humans or humans, I don't know, because I'm channeling you guys. So where this is coming from, I don't know. But anyway, humans need a balance. Humans, in order to feel unstuck, in order to feel like they're thriving, in order to feel like, I'm going to put me in this, we're moving forward because I'm human. It's hard sometimes when I'm like translating what I'm hearing into back into what I'm saying. Anyway, it's we need a balance. So the ideal is to be able to live in the present moment all the time, right? And if your frame of mind could be in the present moment all the time, never worrying about past, present, future, that's probably what nirvana would be like. That's probably what, enlightenment would be like. However, most humans are not in that place. Most humans need a balance. They need a balance of past, present, and future thinking, is what I'm hearing. So what I'm hearing is a balance. So if you're thinking of a teeter-totter, right? Past, present, future thinking. If we're too far in the past and thinking about regrets, we're stuck. If we're too far in the future, worrying about what could happen, we're grounded. We're not grounded, not in a good way, but stuck as well. And so we need to create a delicate balance of looking after ourselves for the future, so that we are able to, what am I hearing? So that we're able to, okay, I understand. I was having trouble figuring out how to word all this. So if we're too far thinking about the past and living in regret, we're stuck, we're grounded. If we're too far worried about the future, what's going to happen, what if, we're grounded. What it is a balance to keep us in the present moment and to help us to get to the present moment. In order to be able to live in the present moment, we need to have done adequate reflection on our past, in that things that we've learned from, experiences we've had, changes we've had to make, all the learnings, right? A lot of the hard stuff in our life are the things that allow us to learn. And so we learn from those things and we carry that learning forward, which allows us to be in the present moment because we carry that learning forward. There's also a certain amount of, I'm going to call it responsibility or something, in that we need to be thinking about the future and how are we not worrying about it, but how are we, what's the right word? I'm just asking for what's the right word. Transactional. That's the word that came to me. Transactional. How are we being transactional so that we can alleviate some fears and worries and allow us to be in a balance? Because if we're too far here or too far here, we can't be in that balance. We can't be in that present moment. So what I'm hearing is take care of our stuff. Take care of your stuff. If you've got stuff from the past that you need to take care of, and I'm not talking about digging into past traumas, and I'm not talking about digging and uncovering, horrible things, unless that's part of your process, but it's more about going, okay, I am aware that these are some things that happened that I need to work on, or these are some things that I learned from, or these are some things. So being aware of your past, allowing you to bring the learning into the current moment, not ruminating, not regret, bring the learning from the past, acknowledge it as learning as opposed to, regret and things like that. Bring the learning from the past to the present. Take care of that. Be transactional is the word I'm hearing again. I think it's a good word. I have to unpack that a little bit. Be transactional so that you are allowing yourself to minimize worry. So I'm asking for an example because I right away start going, because I can get in my head a little bit about the future. And so right away my Nancy brain starts going, are you talking about like making a will and da-da-da-da-da? Probably because we were talking about that this weekend, and I'm hearing, no, that's not quite it. So I just want to get a good example. Okay, gotcha. Okay. What I heard is like packing a lunch. Okay. That if you're going to be out for the day, and I'm often, as I'm going out with my granddaughter somewhere, I have to be thinking. She gets super hangry when she's hungry. So I have to be forward thinking and going, it's going to make my day a whole lot easier if I pack a couple extra snacks and maybe an extra water, if we're out for the day. It's not worrying about the future. Oh my God, what if we're going to starve? What if I don't have anything? Da, 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 da. It's transactional in that I know I'm going to be hungry later, or my granddaughter's going to be hungry later. So by packing snacks now, I will alleviate the stress, the worry later. That's the example I'm given. I love the example because what I'm hearing is in terms of life stuff to allow that transaction. If we kind of pay it forward, you're packing the snacks now, then when you're hungry later, it's easy. Oh, I have a snack, as opposed to having to worry and stress and whatnot. So it's not about worrying about the future. It's thinking about it transactionally. What do I need to allow me to be able to be in the present moment? So rather than worrying about where am I going to get some food because my granddaughter's hungry or I'm hungry, da 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 da, it's about, okay, I thought about this enough that I have something. Is it a full smorgasbord of buffet ingredients and whatnot? No, it's a transactional, it's a snack. It's something that's going to allow me to proceed and be able to be in the present moment because I'm not worried about where I can get some food to feed her a snack, right? So minimizing it down to that transactional element. And so I'm hearing that there is a balance in that we're processing our past, processing, choices we've made, situations we've been in, learnings that have come to us, not ruminating in them, not living there, but going, I learned that I can be really strong when I need to be because of that situation. So I know moving forward, I can draw on that strength. Or I learned that this particular situation is not a great situation, so I'm not going to go there again. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to live there. I don't have to reprocess it. I don't have to think about it, but I can take that learning into the present. And then being transactional about the future, what do I need to provide myself with enough comfort so that I can be in the present moment, right? And so and it's not about worrying about the future and, fixating on it. It's what do I need to be? So thinking about it transactionally to allow yourself to be in the present moment. Hearing that using the my granddaughter hungry example is a good example for another reason, because like I said, she gets hangry. When she's hungry, she just gets grumpy and miserable and often falls down and hurts herself. Like it's just not a pleasant experience when she's hangry. By being transactional and proactive and saying, okay, I need to do this, it then allows her to stay in that present moment, in that present joyful state. It allows me to be able to stay in that present moment, the present joyful state. So, thinking of it that way actually allows you to be in that present moment. And anytime you're in the present moment, you have infinite possibilities. So, setting yourself up in a balance. I think that's interesting messaging. And I'm just going to close that. Hello, Alicia. I'm glad you're here. Carla, I love that insight about being in the present moment. A transfer of action. Present action transfers future resources. Exactly. And that's why I think I heard the word transactional, because it's meant to be more logical than like worry or anxiety. Sometimes, we can get caught up in worrying about the future and it turns into anxiety. Whereas this is talking about it more as transactional. I'm going to need this, so I do this. I'll need this, so I do this. You're going on a hike. Probably take a Bearbell. You might not need it, but we just did that. Disconnecting the stress brain, doing what needs to be done. 100%, Jenny, that's exactly it. And if we break down even the bigger things into that, right? Then you're thinking about it not as, oh, I got to set myself up for the future. It's like, okay, what transactions, what actions do I need to do right now so that I can be prepared in whatever way? And it's not about worrying about all the possible outcomes. I'm hearing that really loudly. It's not about stressing. It's putting yourself in the present moment by taking care of both the past and the present. It's a great reframe. The word transaction is loaded. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? With exploitative connotations. It's more simple. I like that it's framing it as more logical than becoming an emotional thing, right? Alicia, polarity humanity is undergoing this rapid understanding of polarity to awaken here. I saw this in my QHTT. I don't know what that is, QHTT. Session on the weekend, when in the cosmic realms, as humans are understanding polarity more, the heart-brain coherence is becoming more evident, and the ability to remember the future is happening as it's already unfolded. We're here remembering. I wonder, because I feel that, but lots of times I feel like we're actually remembering. I know what's going to be in the future, and I'm just remembering how to get there. I often have that feeling. And so I guess that relates to that transactionality. What actual steps do I need to take to get to that, future I imagine? And it's not about, I'm hearing kind of warnings that this isn't about like, I got to do this to get there, right? Because it is about being in the present moment. But what do I need in order to feel safe and comfortable and whatnot so I can be in the present moment? That's right. Disconnecting the stress brain. Thank you. Wonderful examples. I love the insight about being in the present moment. A transfer of action. Present action transfers to future resources. 100%. That's exactly what this is about, Carla. And it might be just something simple, like packing a snack so you're not hungry, right? Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. And Alicia, I'd love to know what QHTT is, because I'm guessing it's quantum healing maybe, but I'm curious. All right, let me just ask if there's any more messaging for the collective. Okay, one more thing that I'm hearing is that setting yourself up for that future, that transactional thinking, to allow yourself to be in the present moment. What I'm hearing is it doesn't have to look the way we are conditioned in this culture, global phenomenon is the word that I'm hearing, that it may look different. So if I go on the snack example, because I'm bringing it down to a small level, it might not mean packing a snack. It might mean packing some cash so I can buy a snack. It might mean being aware of where I can get food or something. So it's about, it doesn't have to look just one way, that there's lots of ways to I guess, prepare for the future. That's not, I'm being kind of cautioned that it can't turn into worry. As soon as it turns into worry, then that's a lower vibrational energy and it doesn't allow us to stay in balance and be focused. It's more about, that's why I keep hearing the word transaction. It's more transactional. It's just more, if I do this, then I have this. If I do this, then I have this. It's like cause and effect. But what I'm hearing is it doesn't have to look exactly the way sometimes we're taught that things look, or our first inclination is, oh, I need to have this. Maybe it doesn't need to look like that. Maybe it can look a different way. And to be aware that there's lots of different ways. And then the next little bit that I'm hearing is also be aware that we're always being communicated with. When you need something, when there's something that's like, I really need this, there's lots of communication coming to you. We don't always hear it. We don't always see it. We don't always believe it. We don't always trust it, but we are being communicated with all the time. And so there's lots of ways that we are being shown this is a way that this could happen. And sometimes our human brains get in the way and say, I can't do that, or that's too hard, or that's, I'm not ready, or whatever, right? But we are being communicated with is what I'm hearing all the time. That makes me think of the Aiken principle of Sankofa, I hope I'm saying that right, which means go back and get it. it being the wisdom of the past. Wonderful. I love that. That's exactly what this is about. Take the learning from the past, and even if you get into the whole quantum field, right, there's a whole bunch of learning from all over the place. But you take that learning, if we're just talking our timeline right now, our little, timeline, take the learning from the past, preparing for the future, allows us to be in the present moment. And Alicia said, sorry, it was quantum healing hypnosis technique. You are guided into your subconscious where you connect with your higher self and see what you need, past lives, and if needed, may visit different realms. I think that sounds fascinating, Alicia, and I might just have to message you. Do you do that work? Is that something you do? Because I would highly encourage people to connect with you if that's the case. All right, I am going to turn off this recording. So now I'm going to do individual readings. Put your name in if you are interested.